Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Imagine a world where power cables were only compatible with the devices that they came with. You know how many power cables you'd have lying around in your room? I mean, really. Can you imagine the mess of cables that you would have to hold on to just so you can keep all your devices connected? Could you imagine that? I mean, really? Is this the world we live in? Well, unfortunately we do. That happens to be the case. What I hold in my hot little hands is a USB adapter on one end, the connection that we're all familiar with, this USB. But on the other end, what the hell is this? It won't plug into this device. Certainly won't plug into this device, and definitely won't plug into that one. But it'll plug into this one. But this is the only device it plugs into, which makes it rather craptastic. Ugh. UIOP in the chat room asked earlier, Chris, what does proprietary mean? And I'm assuming he is already, or she has already looked up on Google or a dictionary the definition for proprietary. But when we talk about computer stuff, when we use the word proprietary, we're probably talking about things like that. A cable that only works with one device, or the only way that you could use that particular cable or connection is by licensing the technology that, where all the circuitry touches and blah, 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 blah. In which case, it's proprietary. The proprietary nature means that it's only to that particular ecosystem. And this is not an issue that's necessarily related to one brand over another in terms of gadgets, gizmos, phones, computers, whatever. It's throughout the industry. And the idea behind creating something proprietary that only you have access to and know how to use or have the license for is that you have some competitive advantage in the marketplace, allegedly. Unfortunately, the world hates proprietary. I mean, I've had enough. I want all my cables to just be one kind of cable, one kind of power cable, one kind of connection, or at least a variation on the theme. And we're getting there with USB, by and large. In fact, the entire country of China has mandated that if you have a mobile device, it has to be charged or connected by USB in some capacity. I mean, like mini USB, I believe. Making it so that you don't have a mess of cables and cords and clutter lying around because you don't need it. You only need one cable. I mean, how often have you gone and got a new phone or a new device only to realize you got to carry around another damn power cable because of that proprietary connection? Oh, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And yeah, the same thing could hold true for other industries, not just technology as well. Most proprietary products, specifically related to technology, likely have patents applied to them, and when, of course, you have a patent, then you have an assumed value to the thing that you've actually created. The only way to get access to that technology is, again, by licensing it. An example of a proprietary, I guess, connector has been the iPod. The iPod is very proprietary. You can't get into it at all. It's closed system. They're very tight-lipped. And the fact that it's become so widely adopted, having like iPod connectors in your car, is just because the iPod just got so popular. It's not because it was an open standard, which I guess would be the opposite of proprietary, something that's open versus something that's closed, proprietary in nature. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Let's go over here and look up the word proprietary on Google, and it'll take us over to answers.com. If you've never noticed on Google, you can click the definition button in the upper right-hand side. Here it is: of, relating to, or suggestive of a proprietary or proprietors as a group, exclusively owned, private, owned by a private individual or corporation under a trademark or a patent. Okay, so I pretty much nailed it. What it boils down to is that for consumers, proprietary sucks. And anytime you see the word proprietary, you should run away screaming. It's bad, because then you end up with crap like this instead of, having an enjoyable experience, with all the technology around you. You don't have to upgrade your power cables every time you get a new device. Wouldn't it be nice to just imagine a day, one day in the future, where the only power cord you needed to carry around with you with all your devices, let's say you had even 3 devices in your bag, and the only power cable you needed to carry around with you is something like this? Would that just be the most awesome thing in the world? Proprietary is bad. Open is good. I don't know. That's what I think. Of course, everyone else would think differently, especially if you have a patent on something and hoping to get rich off that discovery and patent filing. As DJ Scene says, open for the win. I would totally agree. Open is definitely the way to go. Maybe you've run into an example where proprietary has been a good thing. I certainly have yet, because proprietary usually means more expensive, and I usually like things that are not as expensive than other things, especially if it's in the same, or at least the playing field is relatively even. There are exceptions to every rule, certainly, but I really think proprietary is a bad thing for the world. It's really, really bad. Really bad. Alright, well, anyway, leave a comment, follow up, remark. What do you think about proprietary? Does it frustrate you too? Just tell me I'm not the only one who's got like a mountain of cables and doesn't know what to do with them. I hold on to them because I don't know whether or not I'm going to have a device like that's going to support this particular connection at some point in the future. I'm ruled by fear. If I don't hold on to the cables, the terrorists win. So long as you're not a terrorist, you're welcome to come by the chat room anytime, day or night. We're there, and people have been scrolling it up and up and up and up and up through the chat room. If you haven't figured it out by now, that URL is live.pirillo.com. We're there now.